You know what's more insane than having a miniature version of myself? The fact that Pokemon is now being used by the rich to display their wealth. And I personally think the One Piece TCG is next in line. Guys, this is going to be a super fascinating video. We're going to be covering something that actually took me a little while to understand because it's such a strange blend of culture and wealth and cards and just, listen, trust me, it's going to be an interesting video. But before we get into it, guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to click the link down in the description below. Grab yourself some gamer subs today. Use code TheoryOrPapa, get 10% off your order, and enjoy yourself a nice gamer subs drink. All right, without any further ado, let's get into it. So in this video, we're going to be talking a little bit about Pokemon because there's something really weird happening in the Pokemon world right now with the cards and how it relates to One Piece. And that is this insanely interesting, strange, and fascinating collection out over in Switzerland, I believe. So this collection is known as the Jolina Gisèle Collection, okay? And it's super fascinating. There's a couple of videos here. We're not really going to go over them. I'm going to leave the link for you to check out in the description below. But guys, this is a incredibly bizarre collection. It's a private collection. Over 60,000 cards and products. We're talking millions of dollars of Pokemon cards. I mean, this girl right here is Jolina herself. She's the one that apparently owns this collection. Clearly a very wealthy individual who's put together this website. She's got high quality trailers for this stuff. I mean, it's absolutely insane. You're gonna want to check them out. I mean, literally, she has got millions and millions of dollars of incredible PSA 10 Pokemon cards. You know, she's got this biography talking about why this all started when she was a kid and all that stuff. It says it right here. You know, she's got over 12,000 PSA graded cards. Most of them are PSA 10s. 60,000 cards. Is regarded as the most exclusive and comprehensive private Pokemon collection worldwide. It not only documents the history of a global cultural phenomenon, but also sets a new benchmark within the international collection community. So it seems like Jolina is trying to raise the bar when it comes to displaying your card collection, more specifically Pokemon, because we know this doesn't really compete with anything else. Now, don't get me wrong, as much as I love One Piece, and you know I'm a One Piece maxi, Pokemon will always be one step above One Piece because it's IP, it's been around longer, there's way more cards, there's way more scarcity. However, we will get into more detail about where I think the One Piece TCG fits into all this very soon. You're going to want to hear it. But let's just continue to discover a little bit more here. I mean, like, what like trips me out looking at this is I feel like I'm looking at some kind of like rich, like Gucci, Rolex, like I don't know many rich wealth brands. I mean, I'm wearing a freaking pineapple shirt for God's sakes, okay? But like it's insane, you know, we've got all these videos here. They got a Pokemon expert here who's like going through stuff. Again, I'm not going to show off much, but they're just kind of showing all the cards that she has, and it's just absolutely insane. I mean, it really does look like every single grail in existence is in this collection. Here are some highlights as well. First ever graded Pikachu Illustrator, Pikachu trophy cards, super secret battle trophies. I mean, like University Magikarp, Master Key. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. We've just got a lot of history here. It feels like it's a collection. It's a museum. I don't know. But more importantly, none of this is for sale. This is simply just to flex, okay? Jolina clearly has some money, all right? And that's where I kind of wanted to lead into this video. Guys, it's very obvious that, you know, TCGs are starting to enter a new phase now where people were calling them assets and stuff like that, which was becoming like a funny joke, but it's becoming more and more true by the day, week, month, and year, guys. I mean, it's 2026. We are clearly seeing a shift in mindset and perspective when it comes to what is valuable to our boomer parents, to people who were born before like 1980. Cards were just stupid cardboard things nobody cared about. Now they're being viewed as multi-million-dollar assets and pieces of art, which is absolutely insane, which leads me into One Piece, because we've got rich people who are basically flexing their collection, okay? And although One Piece can't necessarily compete with Pokemon to the level like this, it very well could be second in line. And that does not mean the One Piece TCG will be valued any less, because somebody having an entire collection of the One Piece TCG, I mean, guys, that's a lot of money, okay? What is the total market cap of the entire One Piece TCG if we took every single card price and box together? I don't have that number for you, but that would be interesting. Maybe we'll do that in another video. But I imagine it'd be pretty expensive, okay? And, like, the thing that makes this super interesting, guys, is that we're seeing this shift happen in the Pokemon TCG now. We're seeing the rich kind of look at cards as a flex, showing their private collection worth millions of dollars. And I really, really do think the One Piece TCG is going to be next in line. I mean, listen, I love Magic, and Yu-Gi-Oh's been around forever. I grew up loving cards because of Yu-Gi-Oh! I really don't think they're in comparison with Pokemon and One Piece. And, Magic is predominantly used to play the game. Like, Magic is dedicated to the player base, which is great. But I think this whole concept of collections, people, and not that you can't collect Magic cards or Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but like, there's just, the IP is massive, okay, for Pokemon. Pokemon is still relevant to this day. Pokemon's bigger than it's ever been, and I would argue so is One Piece, guys. One Piece is getting bigger and bigger by the freaking day. I mean, Netflix just announced that Wit Studios, who are basically starting the remake of the show and fixing the pacing, has already said it's going to start in February 2027. They're literally remaking all of One Piece, at least I think like the old, like the very beginning, and they're going to be making the pacing better. But what this is doing is it's kind of clearing the way for more new people to come into the One Piece world, to start really enjoying the story, to stop complaining about the quality and the pacing. I mean, guys, it's just crazy what's going on, guys. Like, the people behind the marketing for the One Piece TCG and the IP of One Piece in general, I mean, let's be honest, as much as Oda is a GOAT, there's no way in hell he's orchestrating everything. I mean, this man clearly has the right people on his side, as he should be. I mean, he's prolific. He's a prolific writer, storyteller, and I'd like to remind you, the story is still being told. In fact, they're also cracking down on the spoiler content that's been going on. I've heard that people are being arrested now because they're leaking spoilers for the upcoming mangas that, or the chapters, sorry, that Oda is currently writing. It's super fascinating to be in this space right now because I just feel like One Piece truly has a chance to compete against Pokemon in a way we've never seen before. It's always been on the throne, but I really do think One Piece is currently at this moment challenging Pokemon, which is great to see. So, big picture, guys, what does this really mean for your collection? Well, it means a couple of things. A, it means if you were that lucky son of a gun that opened a pack of OP13 and pulled this fucking bad boy right here, and yeah, I just cursed because I'm just so hyped about this, you're probably sitting on, I would argue this card is probably going to go much higher down the road. It's probably going to go up to a $50,000, $100,000 card. I mean, if we're looking at these collections, guys, it's not hard to believe, okay? You know what I mean? Again, these are predictions. None of this is financial advice, but it's not hard to believe this card going to $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 as well. It's not hard to believe any of these cards going to $100,000. Look at the Oda signed card. I mean, this card has already gone up to $10,000 in its most recent sale, which is just freaking insane, man. And in the past year alone, it has gone up 269%. There's just so much going on here. I mean, the gold and silver SP Luffy cards are definitely going to be grails in a collection. This Zoro is always popping up, the Treasure Cup Zoro. Again, Treasure Cups, not many in existence, right? You got to take that into consideration. Serialized cards. So much stuff to consider, guys. I mean, hell, you can't even freaking find this card. There's no data on TCG Player because, they're so limited. But in all honesty, guys, I think, as often as some of us may reconsider what we're doing with our money or the cards we're buying and stuff like that, thinking we're making bad choices and stuff, it is an interesting counterpoint to make that it does feel like there is a shift happening when it comes to trading card games. And no one can predict the future. I mean, this could all go a bust one day, which I really don't think it will. But what's just super fascinating is that this whole concept of art and community and IP all kind of coming together and into like this incredible concept of a super rich collection, is just really interesting. Imagine one day we have the Treasure Theory collection, the Jordan collection, this One Piece nut, he spent all his life savings on cards. He was homeless, maybe, and now he's mega multi-rich because he has all these cards. But regardless, guys, I really do think the future is bright for Pokemon and the One Piece TCG, and I'm just going to say it right now, okay? I really do think the One Piece TCG is going to get to this kind of level. I think we obviously need some serious One Piece OGs to get involved in this, some people with some serious berries, if you know what I mean. And, you know, if you want to hit your boy up, because I'm obsessed the One Piece TCG, you know, I'll help you out a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But otherwise, guys, future's looking bright. Things are getting interesting now, okay? The wealthy are starting to come into the hobby, which you could argue is not a good thing because they're just going to buy up everything. But guys, listen, we share this planet with everyone, rich and poor, but I think what's exciting is that anybody can get into this hobby. So guys, with that being said, I hope you're excited. I hope you're pumped. I apologize if I missed some information about the Jolina Gisèle Collection. I'll leave the link down in the description below. Super interesting. Take a look at it. Tell me your thoughts. A video should pop on the screen. Be sure to click it, and I will see you over there.